Now, sure, every player has their own measures of fun and what they enjoy. But for me, I think the Database Dash Boom Grenade deck is one of the most fun commoner decks out there. So today, let's look at an updated build incorporating some learnings that we've had over the past year. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hey there, my flesh and blood friends. Thanks for enduring that painful moment, but welcome back to the channel for another installment of Dice Commando, where tonight we're talking, that's right, Tick Tick Boom, the Database Dash Boom Grenade deck, and this deck is freaking fun. Now, do want to remind everyone, of course, that as we march towards the Calling Portland, or more specifically, the Common or Battle Hardened, we're going to have deck techs every week, midweek, all the way through the event, even into the end of the year. And of course, my channel members get early access to that as they are uploaded. But if you don't want to do that, that's cool. Just wait for them to come. We'll see you midweek every week for more and more tech. Now, today, of course, Database Dash or Dash IO, Mini IO, you can call her whatever you want. I like DBD, Database Dash. I know she's Dash Database, but you got to deal with me, right? We're here. Okay. This deck is freaking cool. So it's so stupid simple, right? We're counting on payload to get the job done because a lot of times remember, there's a low armor format. There's not a lot they can do about it, right? So they're dominating unless they've got a D-React in Arsenal, and you can pretty much suss that out, right? If you boost, throw a boom, well, to be clear, the boom grenade would have to come from the top, but even if you throw a boom grenade down, boost, and then you payload, a lot of times there's nothing they can do about it, as long as it's the right kind of payload, especially if you've Goliath Gauntlet before, they're going to know it's coming, but again, how are they going to do anything about it? You're going to land a nice saucy 4 on top of it. Okay, I think you all get the picture. So let's go ahead and go into the deck itself. Now, this of course was first presented roughly a year ago. At this point, I was having a lot of fun with this, but I really want to give a shout out to Teak. So Teak has been piloting this at Commoner Crawls basically since that point, give or take. And him and I have actually talked quite a bit. The main thing we wanted to do, let's just go down to the spoiler here, was I was pretty positive this was going to work, and he jumped on the boom grenade, pun intended. It's not really a pun, but either way, he jumped on the boom grenade to test it out, and I think we've got it in a good spot where this actually works. So the advantage of having one non-mech card in the deck, well, you get around the advantage of having a non-mech card in the deck is a better way to say it, right? Because you can see the top of the deck. Now, it's not always ideal to you, but you know it's there, and you can be smart about it, right? You can at least play around it. Might have to inefficiently arsenal or whatever, but you don't kill your turn. And having that lunging press really changes things for Boom Grenade, because a lot of times they're coming for 4s, you're coming for 4s. Well, anyway, you get it. So the loadout, Achilles Accelerator, Goliath Gauntlet, the Sim Shot, Talismanic Lens, because sometimes you need to try and do what you need to do. Invest the first fist for those extra 2 resources. That's a free that's a free payload. Okay, so we have 1 copy of Backup Red. If you think that the lunging press idea is the dumbest idea you've ever heard in your life, just play 2 backups. No big deal. No love lost. We're on 6 boom grenades. We're on Dive Through Data times 2, Expedite times 4, right? Red and blue. And this is the one that hits. You get to drop a free item. Okay, a lot of times, so what's fun about this is the blue one does just the same work the red one does, right? Because they don't want to let it hit, because they're like, oh my God, does Andrew have a boom grenade in there? Are these going to be able to keep around for 2 turns? Ooh, right? That one's awesome. Fender Bender plus X, where X is the number of equipment, which is just basically canceling equipment in this format. Med X, when it hits, well, it's just the amped up Expedite, but why would we play that when we can play why would we play the blue version when we can play a free one? We have Outpace, which is cannot be defended by equipment. Well, that's a 1/4. We then have a full rainbow of payload. Again, look, whenever you see decks that have this many rainbows of the same, not super high level, you're just trying to tactically get it done, right? We have Sprocket Rocket. My pocket rocket has +1 when it gets when an item gets banished from boosting it. So you get +1 on your pocket rocket, but hopefully you're not boosting your boom grenade anyway, right? Again, remember, you have to look at the top deck. Zeros times 3, zippers times 4 on the red yellow. Data link, that's the Opti-Opt 1, and then of course our 1 lunging press. Now going down in the inventory, this is where we have our wards. Okay, so dissipation shields down here, right? This is the one that prevents damage. That's why we have 2 of those. The mini force field, we have 1 of those as a balance. This is the ward one, right? So this one's a little more of a liability because if they stick you for 1, it's the same as sticking you for 3. You'll get it. So we have 1 of those. And then we have infused titanium. This is our popper, but it also lets us defend and blow up a item to get +2 if we need to use it in a different context, like more of a control match. But this is primarily our popper. And then we are null HUD and null road because remember, our boots have AB1, so it saves us the spot there. Now that rounds out the deck. I did have a maybe of Underloop that is in there. That's also something you could add. I would have to say that as we've learned over the last year how to better, maybe not even last year, maybe the last month and a half, right? In like the real world, the real constructed world of how to play Dio better, backup protocol is pretty good. Right, and actually Datadog gets a lot of use out of backup protocol as well. Being able to pull the zeros back basically fits, especially because Dio can play, or I should say DBD in this case, can play the boom grenade for 1. You're pitching a blue into that, okay, or you're a 1/4 into that, and then you pull a 0/4. You get it. This card's pretty good. So I would say again, if you hate our lunging press idea, which is fair, I think you're wrong. I think it's really good. But if you hate our lunging press idea, I'd go with backup. But you could go with an underloop just if you're worried about fatigue. You can go under loop in that. So anyway, that's the list. There's not a lot more strategy other than just like, the primary play here is to utilize your payloads effectively with your boom grenades, right? If you're playing a boom grenade and it's not hitting, you're losing that value. So you have to have your boom grenades hit. And when your boom grenades hit in this format, they're losing like half their, I mean, it's not half in terms of the boom grenade itself, right? But think about a payload, think about a Goliath gauntleted payload hitting with a boom grenade behind it. That's rough, right? And you're assuming they've bled a couple, right? So set it up, make sure it lands, get the value out of it, and you're good to go. Anyway, folks, that'll wrap it up today. Let me know if you like the list, what you want to do with it. I think you should go tick, tick, boom, and go commando.